Hello and welcome, everyone. Happy time zone wherever you are. This is The Common Tangent, the podcast where the conversations flow like a coursing river. I like Milan too much. As three drastically different perspectives of life crash together before settling down into the calm of one common thread. The Common Tangent, if you will. I'm your co-host, Ani Kailani, just one of those crazy perspectives, along with my other co-hosts, RJ.
That's me. Hi.
And Soulskin.
Hello, everybody.
Today, we're discussing motivations, specifically motivations for this podcast. Now, to preface this a little bit, while we were recording episode 1, which if you haven't listened to that episode yet, what are you waiting for? Stop this, listen to that, and then come back here. You won't have missed a thing, but I digress. While we were recording episode 1, it dawned on us that one common tangent we all seem to have here is we all came into this podcast with the thought of trying to bring some good into the world with all the heavy that we face on a day-to-day basis. That said, I pass it on to Soulskin for the first share. Soul, you're up. What's your take on this? How would you describe your motivation for your part in the podcast?
My motivation is to bring a little bit of happiness and joy to people's days. It's a very heavy, dark world, and if I can shine a little light on that, I have done my job.
I'm assuming then with wanting to shed a little light into people's lives, that's part of how the bright side got its name.
It is. My name also means sunshine. So if I can bringing that light to your day to remove the heaviness, the negativity, maybe help you smile just a little bit. Yeah, that's about what I got for that.
That's great. I think that we all, like I mentioned, we all seem to kind of have that same sort of that thought process. But RJ, how would you describe your motivation for doing the podcast?
I mean, for podcasting there's so many podcasts out there that you can go to Spotify, you can go to Apple, you can go to anywhere you can to find podcasts, and you type in whatever topic you want, and boop, there it is, everything like that. So I bring up podcasts for my personal life when I bring up my podcast for military for this one. I think the motivation for this is to give somebody something brand new, something that has a different aspect, a different way of giving somebody something that they've never heard of. I mean, how many podcasts go out there that says, okay, I want to hear a group of people that have similar aspects to whatever they're talking about, but also give us a Fae Forecast or play a little game or give a little bright side of what we have to do. I mean, like, there's nothing out there that does something like that. So I think the motivation is that there's so much dark in the world. We talk about this in the first podcast, that there's so much dark that there has to be a way to bring people together and smile and enjoy the way life is. And I think that's what gives us motivation to build something like this. And I think that's what keeps me motivated to come down to the studio and sit there and talk to you guys and have a little bit of entertainment value for those that listen to the podcast.
I agree. I think the different perspectives that we all bring to the table definitely adds a different sort of a unique spin on podcasts. It reminds me of a saying I came across with Hollywood and script writing and storytelling. There's no real original stories out there. It's just how you tell a story that's different. With all of us wanting to be that source of light in the dark for people, having our own sense of identity takes on a different, more intriguing perspective. Like you mentioned, there are a lot of podcasts that incorporate both Fae Forecast with oracle readings, or the game shows that we do with you, or even the bright side with Soul and the heartwarming stories that she shares. I think all of that put together is a very new perspective on just talk podcasts, as we seem to kind of fall into.
I mean, I guess in the same instance that you're talking about is like, so not just motivation for the podcast, is like, what motivates you to get up in the morning? Because I mean, you asked us for our motivation for the podcast, like I'd kind of turn around on you and say, what motivates you to actually get up? Like what inspires you to like say, I want to get up and do this today. If I don't get much sleep and that alarm goes off, I want to snooze it for like 3 or 4 minutes and then slowly get back up. But like, what motivates you to wake up in the morning and get your stuff done?
Honestly, it's being able to hang out with you guys as is a big part of it. It's being able to hang out, explore this journey with you, sharing our perspectives on whatever common tangent that we're on, and wanting to be a part of something bigger than myself. I have always wanted to be that sort of light for people and be able to help and uplift and inspire, even though there are days that I really just don't want to, get up out of bed. I have to get up and go to work regardless, unless I'm on my deathbed, which happened this past weekend. But I really do enjoy being able to just push myself to get up, hang out with you guys, have a great conversation, and hopefully, as we're going through our various skits, our various tangents, being able to just give a little bit of inspiration so that others can find that motivation to get up in the morning whenever they don't want to.
So I got a question for you. While we're talking about we're talking about the inspirations, the motivation to get going. We're kind of all streamers. We kind of do our own thing. We kind of do our work. I mean, all of us have a full-time job and we have new things that are coming in our lives. How do you get motivated to say, oh, the mundanity of the day, the same, like I would say Groundhog Day, just repeating itself over and over again. Like, how do you get motivated to get past those barriers?
That's a good thing to think about. Some days it's just really hard, and it is just the routine of getting up and doing it and saying, hey, I did it again another day. I also have a young teenage girl who's watching me, learning from me when I'm making these choices, when things are hard, when it's mundane and it's unexciting. Life just is heavy sometimes. There recently was a time where she got up in the morning, she was just crying because she did not want to go to school. She just did not want to go. I told her, like, I understand that feeling. I have the same thing for work sometimes. On occasion, I have that for streaming. I just don't want to do it. But I've made that commitment, and following through with that commitment feels really, really good in the end. Once you've done it and you said, it's done, what can I do next? It's super rewarding for me. I guess that's how I get through the mundane, everyday rigmarole.
I agree to that. I just got to say, there's something brand new that are coming into Annie's life. How do you get motivated for the new stuff? Like, you have somebody just moved into your sanctity of world. Like, when you have somebody brand new move into your sanctity, how do you change that? How do you get motivated? How do you be okay with that change?
That is a big question. Somewhat hard for me to answer, mostly because it was a bit of a mental struggle. I come from a neurospicy perspective whenever it comes to this. I have had roommates since I can remember. And tabbing back to what you're asking earlier about the, getting through the mundane and stuff like that, I look back at kind of like boot camp, and maybe you can relate to this as well. But the idea of, okay, just, get through breakfast. All right, you've got through breakfast. All right, get through the next evolution. Okay, get through lunch. Okay, get through dinner. Okay, now the day's over and you go on to the next one. That's what it feels like a lot for me whenever it comes to my regular work day or work week, even though it's feast or famine because it's healthcare. The same thing has kind of applied for me with integrating another person into my life. It's a little bit more different though, because of having that sort of butting heads moment with myself, because I have things a certain way And my neurospicy is like, I like things this way. This is how I've gotten used to it. And this is how it should be. And as I've slowly been integrating things more and more, it's been a little bit of a struggle. It has been a little bit of a, back and forth, push and pull. But I also remind myself about how much light this is bringing to my life by allowing that integration and the amount of joy and happiness, for lack of better phrasing, safety and security that I feel with incorporating this other person. In the end, it's really just reminding myself about why I am doing it. I'm doing this because it brings me joy. I'm doing this because it's bringing light to my life. It is something that I actively want, even though I have this other part of me that's like rebelling a little bit. I know that it's better for me in the end.
No, I like that. I mean, when it comes to like soul doing the bright side and stuff, like when there's so much dark in the world and there's so many people that, come into our streams that we do and our lives and all this kind of stuff that we do, or how do you help other people get motivated if they're having struggles? Do you guys have any like techniques that work for you that you want to share with those that are listening?
Well, I'll flip the question on you this time, because this is a very good question. How would you respond? What techniques do you have that you will use to inspire yourself to continue forward?
I mean, I'm not a TikTok user, but I do watch like shorts, and I do get all those like funny videos from friends like you and all that kind of stuff that keep sending me those. I think there's always something. Everybody's different, of course. I mean, because we want to help ourselves. I mean, you got to help yourselves before you can help others. How do you inspire yourself to get up or motivate yourself to do things? Like I said, it's different for everybody. But for me, I would say that a technique for me is like small things, like when I wake up and when I finally do like actually like get out of bed and go to the bathroom or whatever I do when I first get up, I make my bed. It's one small step. It's one small like achievement, I guess we would say, that you could say, hey, I got something done within like a first few minutes of being awake. That starts my day off as knowing that I've accomplished something, even though if it's very small. Getting the kids off to school, getting them fed, doing some type of set aside a goal for myself. It's like a small goal would be for me is maybe like vape less or drink less caffeine or stay away from candy or chips or whatever my vice is for the day. If I can control myself a little bit that way, I do it that way. I have this bad tendency of eating sometimes when I'm like bored or when I'm stressed out, I should say. I just like get up and I will sit there in front of the fridge. I don't know if anybody else does this, but like we'll open the fridge and we'll just look at the fridge for like 2 minutes. Like, what do I want? And they're looking at all this food or like drinks or whatever. And you're just like, I'm not even really hungry. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Like, why am I looking at this kind of stuff? But I've started a new thing this year, a commitment to myself that anytime I get hungry, anytime I get bored, I have to wait 30 minutes or so until I go get food or before I go do something that I probably shouldn't be. Because if, I get bored, sometimes I'll grab something in my hand and I like vape, or I used to smoke and I quit smoking and I used to do that all the time. And then I finally found some techniques to, not put that in my hand, not go outside, not do this. So it's those small techniques that work for you. I mean, everybody has their own techniques, but mine, like right now, is just like, if I get hungry, I wait 30 minutes. Was I really truly hungry, or was I just bored, or was I have nothing else to do and I decided to eat something or whatever? I mean, that's kind of like small techniques that help for me. Anybody else have any thoughts on those?
I do something a little bit similar. When I do notice that it's boredom or restlessness or sometimes depression that I'm dealing with, I do try to find something to do, something physical, keep me busy. If I am unmotivated enough, I will sit down and do something that challenges my brain so that I'm not thinking about what I want to do versus what will help improve my day and my mood.
So what are the small little things that you're talking about? Like you were talking about, like sometimes you get depressed and things like that. We were talking about like having that significant other move in. And we know a few people that may have lost someone in their lives that they've lived with for many, many years. Changing that aspect to change what you're doing. Is there any like small techniques that you do that? Because you said, I guess what I'm trying to say is like you get physical, you do something that gets your mind off of that, but it's not solving that problem. It's not taking that away. It's just like, I'm just going to push it off the side while I focus on here. Does that help diminish the amount of weight that happens because you're doing that? Or is it just putting it aside? Okay. That's what I was trying to get.
It does. Yes, it does. It makes that mental switch for me. When it is warm outside and nice, I can take the dogs outside and run them a little bit and play with them. And that is joyful. That's joyful in my life, which helps improve the mental state. It also is stimulating. So it gives me something to do and it takes care of that boredom. When you were talking about like you used to just go eat and now you wait a half hour. My switch for that is, am I willing to sit down and cook something? Sit down. I don't sit and cook. I stand and cook.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Am I willing to cook a meal or make something, make a mess, have to clean it up? Usually, if yes, I'm willing to cook. Okay, I really am hungry. It's not a reaction to what I'm feeling or avoiding. If I'm not willing to make anything, it's definitely food is a filler. And then that is what I'm using to push it aside. So it's definitely a management technique for me versus an escape technique.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's interesting. So I'm just making a observation. You're both talking about these situations where you're having to do this mental switch, and it actually kind of reminds me of mindfulness in a way, like RJ with the food and having to actually pause and wait for 30 minutes to kind of see like, okay, was I actually hungry, or am I just trying to fill that void because of boredom or what have you?
Exactly.
That moment of actually taking yourself sort of aside out of the moment, being more mindful of, okay, this is what my patterns are. I'm going to try to change them. And then soul's kind of the same way too, with mindfulness, only it feels more mindful in the present because of actively doing something physical. You're engaged in that moment of presence. So you're mindful in that presence. You're actively in that space. So you're not allowing yourself to be drawn into say like these other habits or what have you. Just making that connection, it's really interesting to hear those different perspectives where one seems more mental based in terms of the switch versus the physical actively influencing the mental.
Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, everybody seems to have this problem about like getting older, and we do record these podcasts a little early. So how do you get motivated when, I don't know, it's your birthday or something? Like, how do you get motivated when you're 1 year older, Annie? Happy birthday, by the way. If the people that are listening don't know what I'm talking about, happy birthday.
Right. Okay. So yes. So whenever this episode drops, it will be my birthday, February 19th. So thank you guys for that. Interestingly enough, for me, there's this practice that some people have where they stop counting and they're just another 30 or another 40 or whatever number they decide to stop at. Not gonna lie, for me, I stopped really paying attention roughly around age 22. I think it's because at that point I had already kind of gone through the wild, crazy phase. And so it petered out very quickly. So, yeah, by the time like 22, I was already off in the world. I was getting ready to enlist. And by then, by 23, 24, I had been enlisted. I was out of the military. I was out on my own. And so, yeah, I kind of just I got so wrapped up in just the regular day to day of everyday life and the hustle and bustle of things that I see it as another day.
For those that like celebrate their birthday more than just one day versus a whole week, or oh, it's my birthday month, let's go. I think for those, I'm super excited that they celebrate their birthday. They're positive, they're willing to do that and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome. But in this instance, I think just figuring out what the motivation is for you on a day-to-day basis, no matter what's going on. There could be a death in the family, there could be a birthday, there could be celebrations for other people. Sometimes jealousy comes in effect, sometimes all that kind of stuff. But there is a way to find your own motivation no matter what you're doing. What we say, what motivates us, can inspire you to find your own motivation, but you need to find that trick or that moment that helps you individually to stay motivated every single day, is kind of the way I think about it.
If going back to coaching for me, it reminds me of the one thing that everybody talks about with coaching, whether that is you're playing a sport or you're pursuing a hobby like acting or singing, or even so much as dealing with your mental health struggles whenever you've got a family to take care of. But knowing your why and always maintaining that, holding on to it. One thing that is good to do is to sometimes check in and just to be sure that your why still holds up, because sometimes your why does change, but never forgetting what your why is, because your why is always going to be your driving factor.
Agreed. What would you give for advice for other people to get motivated, not just for what works for you, but how do you help others keep that motivation?
One of the things I learned last year was body doubling. And somebody doesn't have to physically be there with you. It could be a best friend on the phone while you're cooking the dinner you're dreading to cook. Or, again, a friend on the phone helping you fold that laundry you don't want to fold. A coworker helping you complete a task at work that may be daunting and more than you're ready to take on. For me, it's finding that other half that keeps me going. And like I said, a lot of times it's because I know my little is watching and learning. Sometimes it's I just want to feel that I did it in the end and be happy that I did it. I know it's not the same for everybody, but that reward system, that internal reward system, I think plays a lot for people and they may not realize it. And just having your friend or your chat or your community say, hey, good job. You did it. I'm proud of you. That's a golden reward.
Kind of like that yeah, I like that. I like push a button, get a piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Yes,
kind of thing.
Precisely. That's precisely.
Do you guys treat yourselves after like doing something? I have this like in my area, something I grew up on. It's called a twin bing. I buy them, but I never eat them unless I do something good, or hey, I've achieved something, or I did something big, or I set a goal for me for like I work out for so long or whatever, hit like 4 or 5 hours in the week or something. Then I can treat myself with that twin bing or whatever. Do you guys treat yourself with something to keep you guys motivated?
I do. I do. A lot of times it's a day off or not doing as many chores as I normally would. A lot of times I'll ask Aunt to take me to Dunkin'.
Ooh, Dunkin', let's go. Not a sponsor, but we'll take it.
Not a sponsor. Recently with my weight loss that wasn't intentional. It's just I'm getting my health back on track. Part of feeling good about myself is I've started to get my nails done every few weeks. And that's a big thing for me because that makes me feel very pretty. I know they're just nails and it's just a color, but going and getting them done and hanging out with my nail person and all the girls at the salon is such a fun time that it is a huge reward for me.
Girl,
but other than that,
don't knock the nails. The nails you
I
get your
love the nails.
did. It's so good.
And if you're following yourself on following your personal Twitter or X, I should say, colored lip gloss and things like that too.
Yes, so I'm getting back into the makeup thing. That was tied a lot to identity. There was a lot of change in my life from when I got divorced into going into COVID, into losing my job, into moving to a new town across the state and buying a house with my partner and figuring out the long distance parenting thing with my daughter. Like there was a lot of change and I kind of a little bit lost myself. And recently, since I've been feeling so much better and my health was tied a little bit to the depression, and I have found what works, I'm getting back into the things I love. And I bought some of the most fun, they arrived yet this morning, most fun, bold color lip glosses that I will start wearing during streams.
I love it.
Because why not? I can't wear them at work because I would get the most crazy looks from the pets owners, but I will be wearing them on stream and I am stoked. And that was a reward in itself of finding myself again and feeling good about myself. I spent money on some makeup.
And it's okay to spend some money on yourself to treat yourself. That's the thing too. Annie, do you treat yourself when you achieve a few things?
No.
No.
That's the short answer. I have compulsion issues, ADHD for the win. Yay. My brain is constantly seeking that dopamine and that reward system. The issues I've had over the years has been trying to tamper that so that I can have that reward response. What's the word I'm looking for? In a rational way, for lack of better phrasing.
That makes sense.
Because I can get the simplest reward from buying something off of Amazon or buying a little candy bar or something like that whenever I'm having a craving. Like all those play into my little reward system. But then as soon as I have a task like doing the dishes, for example, we talk about the body doubling thing. Sometimes I'll have someone on a call with me as I'm doing dishes, or I'll just zone out listening to music. And you would think that I would have that sort of reward system afterward of, oh, I've got the dishes done. Okay, I'm now going to have some ice cream after doing the dishes. But unfortunately, I don't, because my brain just kind of equates that as to, okay, that's just, something you have to do. There's no true reward after the fact. It's hard for me to really say that I treat myself to rewards whenever they are attached to tasks, because that's not exactly how my brain works. I've been working on trying to get that figured out a little bit more. The short answer being I don't really know how, so to speak.
I guess the small things, the reason why I'm asking this is because with kids, when you're a parent, I get to the point where like once the kids are like during summertime, me and my wife, we will get the kids to bed at around like 8 o'clock ish, give or take. Once they're asleep, especially when it's nice out, we get out of the house. We'll go sit on the porch or we'll sit out in the backyard and just get out of the house and just kind of like reward ourselves just with our time together. And that usually helps with the stressors, I guess. So, I mean, like if there's any like stressors or any ways that you guys take away that stress, that's kind of like I would see that as a personal reward to yourself to kind of help with those kind of things. So, I mean, the small things, like you said, after dishes, if you just sit down and watch TV or something, that could be like a personal reward where I don't have to do chores. So I was saying that's kind of like where I was kind of doing. And for anybody that's out there that's listening, maybe those small things, maybe that like going outside for a walk or doing like that could be your personal reward and helping handle the stress is my concept, I guess.
So as we're talking about motivation segments, so we'll start off with the Fae Forecast and talking about motivations there. So off to myself for the Fae Forecast. Hello and happy time zone, friends. Welcome to the Fae Forecast. I'm your host, Ani Kailani, your resident Fae incarnate. I'm an oracle and holistic health practitioner here to bring you your fortune forecast and give you a little advice on being your most authentic self to make the most of your forecast. That said, let's get into it. So, considering the theme for this podcast today, I am using the legendary affirmation cards deck to bring you guys an affirmation. And it reads, I now choose to be confident in knowing that I provide value to others. I'm going to repeat that. I now choose to be confident in knowing that I provide value to others. My friends, whenever it comes to being a light for others, you so have to be confident in yourself and knowing that, truly knowing that you are bringing value to others. Because in choosing to be a light, you know that you have some value or some good, something that you can offer to someone to try to make their day just a little bit better. And whenever you are truly confident in yourself, that light shines so much brighter that you can light up an entire room, an entire home. You can light up the darkest corners of shadow and darkness. I truly hope that you can be a light for someone and know and be confident that by being that light, you are adding value to someone's life. The question, the meditation for this is, how do I choose to be confident in knowing that I provide value to others? I'm going to repeat that. I now choose to be confident in knowing that I provide value to others. That, my friends, is a powerful statement, or question rather. How do I choose to be confident in knowing that I provide value to others? It's the act of choosing that really allows you that confidence in knowing. Because the more you choose to be confident, the more apt you are to be confident, to feel confident, to know that you are providing value to others. And friends, that is the Fae Forecast. My name is Ani Kailani once again. If you have any questions or you just have something that you'd like to be answered in the Fae Forecast, please feel free to reach out here to us on the Common Tangent. We do have a Google form that you're able to submit your questions to, and I would absolutely love to answer what I can. Be gentle to yourselves and always strive to be authentic. Thank you.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Guest the Press. If you haven't listened to the first podcast, all the rules and regulations and all that kind of fun stuff is within that first podcast. They know the rules. So here's what we're going to do here. I have a very similar game that we're going to play, and then something brand new for you as well. I want to give you the category, and then we're going to do this again. I want to give you one true title, and then I want to give you two ones that are not real. So you guys have to figure out and discuss within yourselves which one is real. So here's the three headlines that I've got for you. First one is Florida girl shoves fingers up gator's nose to escape. Georgia man saves elderly woman in mall with his shoe. Or sword swallower punctures their tongue performing for kid's birthday party. Which one is real?
I have to say the sword swallower.
I'm sorry, I'm just giggling at the whole like fingers up the nose thing because I'm literally thinking like she's going in there like a bowling ball. Ah, gosh, that's a tough one.
So discuss it for yourself too as well, because you guys have to come up with one that you like together.
Right? No, like because I'm thinking about it because the Florida girl one sounds totally plausible. The Georgia man one definitely sounds plausible too, because people down south be crazy, especially with them chanclas. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see the sword swallower thing happening. Yeah, I don't know. I agree with Soul. I'm gonna go with the sword swallower.
So this is an article, and I went back a little bit. This is an article from 2017. A 10-year-old Florida girl says she shoved her fingers up an alligator's snout to escape after almost a 9-foot-long reptile bit her. I'm not going to say the names, but it says on Monday told Orlando television station, whatever the station is, that she learned the escape trick from visiting a local alligator park. The girl was sitting in water roughly 2 feet deep when the gator bit her on her knee and calf at Moss Park in Orlando area on Saturday. A 911 call released Monday. A caller described her as having a puncture wound to her leg. She treated at a nearby hospital, non-life threatenings. The title was Girl Says She Stuck Fingers Up a Gator's Nose to Escape. Ain't that crazy?
Wow. So, we got that wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'm trying to pick ones that are like a little bit harder for you guys to pick, and I love that one so much. And all of them do have it. Like you can literally see a sword swallower puncturing their tongue at a kid's birthday party for sure.
Yes,
Right.
much agreed.
Okay, and then I got a brand new one for you. This is something brand new. You ever heard this one yet? So this one's new. So this is the category of this one is as seen on TV. Do you both know who Billy Mays is? Hopefully you do,
Yes.
because this is going to be fun. Okay, so Billy Mays, if you don't know who that is, for those that are listening, he's the as seen on TV guy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 products that Billy Mays has to discuss on their show. They're basically their commercials or whatever. And you have to tell me which products are real and which products are fake. I'm going to give you 5 of them. There's only one fake one in here, and you have to tell me which one is real, which ones are fake. So there's only one fake one. So here's the 5 that I'm going to give you. So Billy Mays, as seen on TV guy, they have tried to sell these products to people. So the 5 products is the Handy Switch, Easy Crunch Bowl, the Simon's Shark Multi-Tool, Zorbies, or Jupiter Jack. And they're all, I'm not kidding you, only one of them is fake.
Zorbies sounds so familiar, so I don't think it's that one.
Zorbies is definitely a thing, so it's not that one.
What was the first option?
You have a Handy Switch, Easy Crunch Bowl, the Shark Multi-Tool, or Jupiter Jack. And I'll give you one. The one that you said is a real one. So you're so far so good.
I know the multi-shark tool. I think that one's real as well.
Okay, keep going. I'm not going to give you any more. I'm going to just giving you the first one.
The Jupiter Jack sounds vaguely familiar.
So try to come up with the fake one. So I'll let you guys figure that one out. Like again,
I think it's the first one.
either the Handy Switch, Easy Crunch Bowl, the Shark Multi-Tool, Zorbies, or Jupiter Jack.
What would a crunch bowl be? I just think of Taco Bell. Again, not sponsored.
I mean, I'll explain all these tools. I'll explain all these when you're done, but I have the explanation.
I don't think Crunch Bowl, is it an exercise machine?
I'm sitting on the Crunch Bowl too, thinking if it the wrong one.
All right, so I'll start with this one. So is that what you guys think is the wrong one? Is the Crunch Bowl?
I think that's the wrong one. I do.
Okay, so the Jupiter Jack, that is a hands-free car cell phone speaker system. So you're basically, if you don't have Bluetooth, you can hook up your phone to this little Bluetooth speaker. It's called Jupiter Jack, hands-free car cell phone speakerphone system. You had the Zorbies correct. That's a super absorbent cloth, kind of like all those other ones. So that's the Zorbies. The Handy Switch is real. That's the electric switch that can be stuck on any surface. I don't know what that really truly means, but it's an electric switch, I guess, unless you don't have a
Bluetooth Wi-Fi enabled?
Maybe, or it's like something you can plug in and you can switch on and off from like together or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. And then the two that are left is the Easy Crunch Bowl or the Shark Multi-Tool.
I think the Shark Multi-Tool is real. I think that's real.
I'm going to tell you that the Easy Crunch Bowl is a cereal bowl that separates milk and cereal to keep crunchiness.
I know what it is. You remember this thing?
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I can see it in my mind's eye.
So he may have promoted some type of tools, but the Simon's Shark Multi-Tool is the fake answer that Billy Mays has put out.
Huh.
I love those. And then if you haven't looked up these items, and if you don't know who Billy Mays is, I mean, seriously, go out there and check him out. I mean, like, he's funny. I don't know what he's doing.
Entertaining.
Yeah, you can check him out on YouTube. I saw I went and actually watched all these advertisements, and they're really, really funny. So the Handy Switch, the Easy Crunch Bowl, the Shark Multi-Tool was fake, Zorbees was real, and this Jupiter Jack was real. Such a good one. That's one of my new ones, and I hope you enjoyed it. I love it so much. So if you all are out there, you can comment on the episode if you think you got them right, as we were guessing them.
As we're gonna wrap that up, I'm gonna pull a, hopefully not copyright here, but hi, Billy Mays here. We're gonna go over to Soul with the Bright Side.
I love it.
I love it. Imagine tens of thousands of teddy bears falling from the sky. Nope, it's not a snowstorm. It's a hockey rink in the heart of Pennsylvania. And it's all happening for one very simple reason: kindness. Welcome to the Bright Side. I'm Soulskin. This is where we share stories that warm your heart. Today, I have one that's equal parts adorable and inspiring. It's the Hershey Bears annual teddy bear toss. This cozy tradition began back in 2001. The Hershey Bears, a minor league hockey team, invited fans to bring stuffed animals. The twist? Fans tossed their bears onto the ice right after the first goal. The goal? To give the toys to children who need a little extra love. Hospitals, schools, shelters, even military families have benefited from this generosity. Over the years, this one simple idea has blossomed into something huge, quite literally. Fast forward to January 2026. Fans brought a jaw-dropping 81,796 stuffed animals. Volunteers, players, and staff worked together to gather them all. They carefully sorted and delivered the toys to more than 60 local charities. And here's where it gets really heartwarming. A high school teen named Gabby has been keeping this tradition alive. After attending her first teddy bear toss, she founded Gabby's Acts of Kindness. Her little nonprofit collects stuffed animals every year for the game. So far, Gabby's efforts have contributed over 125,000 toys. She says it's the children's smiles that makes it all worthwhile. And honestly, just thinking about those little smiles brings warmth to your heart. The teddy bear toss isn't just about hockey or toys. It's about community, generosity, and pure joy. One little tradition turns a single hockey game into a big, warm hug for the community. And it reminds us that even one person, like Gabby, can inspire thousands. And it's not just a one-time thing. The Bears have broken their own record multiple times. The highest total ever was in 2025, over 102 stuffed animals. Each year, the number grows, and so does the joy in the community. It's proof that kindness doesn't have to be small. It can be loud, colorful, and a little bit messy. And yes, it can fill an entire hockey rink. So what's the cozy takeaway here? Traditions, teamwork, and one person's passion can make a world's softer, happier place. One teddy bear at a time, one goal at a time, and one little smile at a time. Remember the Hershey Bears and remember Gabby. Sometimes all it takes is a little creativity and a whole lot of heart. Thank you for joining me on the bright side. If this story made you smile, pass it along to somebody today. Keep your eyes open for the little ways kindness can bloom in your own world. I'm Soulskin, and I'll see you next time, where we find the bright side, warm spots in every story.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into today's episode of The Common Tangent. We at TCT greatly appreciate every single one of you. If you like what you heard today, be sure to tune in to the next episode, or listen to any of our previous episodes on the platforms where you listen to your favorite podcasts. To stay up with all of our latest happenings, follow us on most social platforms at The Common Tangent, with the exception of X. There, we're just Common Tangent. Be safe, everybody. And we'll see you in the next Common Tangent.